Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go, my friends. Lots of technical difficulties, but that's okay because here we go. There we go. All right. I have my main camera set up with all my amps and my microphones and everything else, and no luck. No luck at all. So I apologize for that. But here we go. We're live. You guys can hear me. Now the only thing I got to be able to do is I've got to pull up some questions on YouTube. All right. So here we go. What are we doing today, folks? I'm answering your questions. You've never had this wacky angle before, have you? Let me pull this in a little closer. Okay. All right. So we're going to get to some questions, and I'm going to pull up. I apologize for those folks that were on the other video. Stuff's out of my hands sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have no access. So I do what I can do. All right, here I'm going to be pulling this video up, and then let's dig into some questions. Have your questions ready, and be adding them to the screen. Now, this hopefully you are adding your questions to YouTube and not Google Hangout. Okay, because if you're doing it with Google Hangout, that's not going to work. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Now you guys can hear me. And is the chat going? Do I have a chat? I don't see any chat. Okay, I may have to go to another screen for that, and that's okay. So just hang in there with me. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any chat whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just dig into some live stuff. I did see some other questions from another video, so I could get to those. And if I see any comments coming up within the video here, I will go ahead and get your questions answered. Okay, so really quickly, number one. So we did this promotion the other day. So any vets that are listening right now, we did a promotion on Veterans Day, and it was using the code. What was it? Thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. That was our code, okay? And here's the deal. We had over 500 folks sign up for this. Over 500 vets signed up for this. So we are very, very busy getting folks into the course. So if you haven't heard back from us, if you haven't heard back from that email, we did that on Friday, okay? So my guy that is doing that, that's getting you into the program, he was off this weekend, just like many of us were. And so he started on Monday. He's been plowing away at all these folks, getting them into the program, but just hang in there. So if you haven't had your email answered yet, hang in there. We're going to get to them. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing that chat. All right. So we're going to dig into something here in just one second. So for those folks that do not have access to the Unstoppable Guitar System, we are doing this major killer deal right now where you can get half off. Now, that ended last night, but I spoke to my buddy here at Your Guitar Stage, my right-hand man, if you will, and we decided to extend this for another day because we had so many people answering it that it almost felt like, well, people were just now getting the email and that sort of thing. So if you want half off of the Unstoppable Guitar System, go to yourguitarstage.com. Thank you, veterans. Yourguitarstage.com. Thank you, veterans. And you will get half off. That's literally $200 off of the $400 course. Pretty cool, right? Yes, indeed. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to see if I can't find that other video. I did have some other folks asking some questions. But here we go. Let's get to some of the questions that I'm seeing a lot lately. I'm sure that someone here is going to be is going to relate to these. Okay, so number one, I've been having a lot of folks talk about hand strength, and they say, you know, I can't do this, I can't play a bar chord, or I can't, you know, what have you. Okay, all right, my good man just set me up, I think, with our ability to see chat, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Not seeing that. That sucks. That majorly sucks. Maybe I can see it on my computer here, but I'm gonna have to do a little something different here because I want to see your chat. I want to see what you're talking about, my friends, and I want to get to your questions. So I'm not seeing it though. I'm not seeing it. Hang in there with me. Hang in there with me. Hang in there. No chat. Okay. We do not have a chat going, do we? Here we go. There we go. There it is. There it is. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Now there's my chat. Oh, you guys probably think I'm a moron. That's all right. All right, here we go. So let's get to some questions here because they're flying up the screen now. I knew we'd have something here, right? Okay, so let's just jam out. Let's get to it right away. Jeez, it's going fast. All right, I'm usually naked when I chat. Always the same finger. That was weird together. Okay, you just add the questions as you're going along because I'm going to see them. I've seen that you can play 5-string chords with 2 strings. How can I get my ring finger to cover strings 2 through 4, but not 1? Okay, so you know, talking about that particular bit, what you're talking about, Sean, there, like a lot of times folks will, you know, they'll do like a bar chord like this, okay, and that is a 5-string bar chord, right? 5-string bar chord starting at the 5th fret. I mean, starting at the 5th string, and we're playing strings 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the question is, how can you not play that first string? Okay, and if you want to not play that first string, what you're going to do is you can do this a couple different ways. If you're playing, let's say you're playing the major chord, C major. What I like to do is I like to, so that's 2 fingers. You said that, and basically what I'm doing here is I'm barring, or essentially I'm barring that 3rd fret, but really I'm just using that first finger to press that 3rd fret, which is a C. And then using my 3rd finger here to press on strings 4, 3, and 2 at the 5th fret. And then I'm allowing that first string to be muted by the flesh of that finger. Now, if I wanted that string to sing out, what I would do is I would hyperextend that finger. So there's kind of like a dip in it, kind of like bending your finger backwards. And if I do that, I can eke out that last note, okay? Now, if I was just playing a minor chord, that's easy enough because that note's always, you know what I'm saying? Make sense? Okay, all right. So hopefully that will help you. Andrew is saying, is the state of humanity up for discussion? Sure, why not? The state of all beings should be up for discussion all the time, right? Ron here, biggest problem is clean, fast chord changes. Ron, yeah, 100%. A lot of folks having issues with chord changes, right? And so when you go from one chord to the, or when you're staying on one chord, typically you're like, okay, this is fine, I'm good here. And you're hoping for that you're not going to have to change chords, but you can change chords. It's not a problem. Here's what you do. You want to take 2 chords and 2 chords only. That's a secret. If it's a G to a C, then just practice G to a C. Don't worry about all the other chords. Yes, I say there are 9 essential chords, right? I say that in my free course, right? At yourguitarstage.com/30, right? I talk about that. Which if you haven't checked that series out, you need to. yourguitarstage.com/30, the first 30 lessons that I teach all my students in Nashville. You gotta watch those. I mean, it's like foundational, absolutely will change your playing. Okay, now, so if you're having a problem going from, say, from the G to the C, what you want to do is you want to go back and forth between the G and the C, just like this. But you want to do it slowly at first, real nice and slow, you know? And what you want to do is you want to observe and you want to take note. Okay, well, that finger is dropping down too far and it's hitting the wrong string, or well, that finger's not pressing hard enough, or that finger's kind of getting kinked up over here. Whatever it is, you want to take note, because if your brain can see what the problem is, you can fix it. If your brain can't see what the problem is, which starts with the eyes, right? But then you have to observe, because you can see something and not observe it, not take it in and go, oh, I see the problem. You got to see it. You got to take it into your brain. It's got to make sense. Oh, I see why that note's not playing is because my finger is touching it in some way or another. So then you correct it, then do the chord change again and come back to it. Each time you do that correction, you're going to have less and less of a chance of messing up until those chords start flowing. This is how all the pros do it, my friends. Just going back and forth between two chords, okay? Back and forth between two chords. Try not to take too many chords at a time. Okay, try not to let your ego get involved and be working with 4 or 5 chords unless you get good enough to do that. If you're not good enough to do that, you're not good enough to do that. All right. All right. Somebody said we're back up. All right, we're back up. Who would know? Who would friggin' know? No, I mean, no cats down here, no nothing. I have no idea. I've just got nothing but great bandwidth, and I mean, I just had Comcast out here. I don't know what's going on. All right, nonetheless, all right, you kids are hanging in there, and thank you for doing that. I apologize. Some stuff's out of my hands here, you know what I'm saying? All right, so I didn't do any. I literally didn't do anything. Just came back online. So there you go. Fun, right? Any link to stretching exercises? Jimbo's saying. Jimbo, yes. I'll tell you what. In the free series that I'm talking about, go to the link here. I'll put it in here. It is this. So you ready? It's yourguitarsage.com/30. Yes, there is a delay. There is a delay on YouTube, maybe 30 seconds or so. So yes, there is a video that I have on there, and it's called Exercise 3. Okay, and basically it's this idea. I mean, I'll show it to you really quickly. We won't take a lot of time with it just because I have those resources for you for free in other places. yourguitarstage.com/30. Check that out. But the idea is this. The basic exercise looks like this, where each time you move one finger down. And at first, it's not so bad when you're on those smaller frets. But as you start getting to the bigger frets, you know, the more distance in between them, holy mackerel, it starts hurting. You'll feel the burn. And you keep going with that. You know? So, all right. Could you please explain the Nashville number system? DJ is saying yes. So again, this is in the same thing. I have a whole section of this in the Unstoppable Guitar System, which, by the way, for folks that just joined us, is literally half off today. We were ending it last night at midnight, but we had so many people sign up, and we had over 500 vets sign up. Woof. So if you want that, the link is below for that, but you could go to yourguitarstage.com/thankyouveterans. Okay, yourguitarstage.com/thankyouveterans, and you can get $200 off the normal $400 course. That is a lifetime membership where I add an hour of new material every single month, and we do live broadcasts like this, but just with a few people, not with a ton of people. Okay, all right, so let's talk about the Nashville number system, and I cover this in detail there. I also did a series for True Fire guitar on this, all right? So the Nashville number system is really, really easy. It's easy to understand, but it does take some time to get, you know? F. Flintstone, oh, nice, he's a vet, and hopefully you took advantage of that, my friend. If not, you know where to go. yourguitarstage.com/thankyouveterans, and that's where to go, okay? All right, so yeah, the Nashville number system is a simple concept to conceptualize. Take some time to really get under your fingers and really be comfortable with it, but it's absolutely the number one thing that absolutely changed the way that I view guitar, the way that I view music, everything. I mean, if I went to another instrument now, knowing the Nashville number system totally helps me. So the most powerful thing I've ever learned. Now, just learning the concept is not going to help you too much, but getting familiar with it, thinking of chords and their numbers and all that is really going to help. It goes like this. So instead of thinking like a chord, like as a G or a D or a C, we think about them in numbers as they're related to the tonal center or the tonic. You can think about the tonal center or tonic as the subject of the song. So the song is He Stopped Loving Her Today. You know, that's a song about a man who stopped loving a woman that day. Actually, he died, so he did stop loving her. But you know, there's a subject of the song. Well, musically, we have a subject to a song, and that's what we call the tonal center or the key. And that's the one note that all the other notes and chords and what have you basically point to. I would have to show you this. I do in the course. Obviously, this isn't something that's super easy to do in a nutshell. But the idea is this. If I'm in the key of G, a lot of times you'll have a D there, and you'll also have a C. And G is our tonal center. So G here, in this case, acts as something totally different than, say, if it were in the key of C. If it were in the key of C, here's a C chord, here's an F chord, and here's a G chord. And it wants to come back to the C, okay, which is the one or the tonal center. So what happens is these chords, G's and C's and D's, they don't really have much of a value because, well, they're not being compared to anything. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really, you say, yeah, it's a C chord. Yeah, I know how to play the C chord. But like, what does it mean to the song? Okay. So for instance, like in the key of G, the C chord is the 4 chord and the D chord is the 5 chord. And it's real easy to find this out. Basically, you just take the major scale. Basic major scale that I teach in the free ebook at yourguitarstage.com. The same basic scale that I teach in the Unstoppable Guitar System in the free series, yourguitarstage.com/30. It's all the same major scale. But if I play that major scale and I go and I count, instead of saying the letters G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Instead of saying that, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. This way, this is universal. So if I go to the key of A, I could do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. If I go to the key of C, I can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And so basically, each number is the same in every key. And that helps with understanding structure and stuff. So if somebody says, this song is a 1, 4, 5 progression, well, this is the 1, because that's a G. And the 4 chord would be a C, because I go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my 4, and it's a C major. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a D. And then I can play my D chord, okay? So that's the Nashville number system in a nutshell. Basically, each number or each letter of the scale has a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the chords the same way. You have major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. And so in that case, it would be G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, G. And the same chords, it'll be the same for every single key. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Okay, that's what we call diatonic harmony. And that's not to say that you can't play a chord that's different than that, but in a major key, the 1 chord's major, the 2 and the 3 are minor, the 4 and the 5 are major, the 6 is minor, the 7 is diminished. Okay, a lot of people don't use the diminished chord, that's fine, but all that to say, Nashville number system, you got to know it. If you're interested in it, my friends, I'm telling you, midnight tonight, we're going to end that sale for reals. We were going to do it for reals last night, but we're extending it another day. YourGuitarSage.com/thankyouveterans. That's where you